Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you, Essence. Thank you, Chinoya Chukwu. Say her name right, y'all. Chinoya Chukwu. Thank you to the beautiful Table 10, which comprises of people who have been helping to curate and construct this beginning of a career that I've had. Paradigm, my beautiful team, Mary, Brad, Chris, the glorious Vicky Thomas. Y'all don't know, I got mad love for her. And my beautiful people at Shelter. What up, Rachel? Gunna. I am from Atlanta, as I've said multiple times over. Yeah. And, you know, I don't live here. I haven't lived here. And coming from a space, from the southern space where sometimes actors aren't necessarily lauded or supported in a certain kind of way, which we've talked about thoroughly in various forms of media, you don't know how to navigate these spaces, right? Me and my homie Gail, what up, Bean? We've talked about needing a kind of support system. So I'm dedicating this time to some notes that I've written. And they're entitled Notes on a Coming into Multiple Literacies for the Multi-Literate Black Woman, or A Survivor's Guide to the Hellish Hazing of Award Season When the Hunger from Dry Chicken is Enough. Okay? So here we go. Number 1, envision home, always, perpetually. Give thanks all of your 6 senses constructed for you. It is you. It is the real present in be present that folks always like to say. Number 2, read. Everybody. Read everybody. Read everyone. I'm talking about ingesting Cicely Tyson's memoir, re-engage Tony Sula, be erupted by Margot Jefferson's Constructing a Nervous System, touch again the mission of the Combahee River Collective, gag anyone on quantum listening from Pauline Oliveros, which is listening to more than one reality simultaneously, because you'll need it. And let Simone White tear you up when she writes in her collection of poems, or on being the other woman. Trigger warning, it's just who I am. I am an ignorant F-U-C-K-er, wherein the comedic shock of the thing resides in the manner in which I do not resemble, and yet am the thing, impossibly misperceived. And later she writes, what is the difference between the figure that destroys and the figure that breaks away? Remember it. You'll need that too when it's getting kind of hectic. Watch. Number 3, watch. Suki with the good coochie. Repeatedly iterate. What's an obstacle? What's an obstacle? What's an obstacle? Because you're going to need that energy too. Tension is a life force, says Toni Morrison. And then you want to layer that with Tony's lecture on writing and the value of the humanities from the 90s. Dig into Dorothy Dandridge's documentary and construct chopped and screwed imaginings of Eartha Kitt repeating, I fall in love with myself. And I want someone to share her with me. Share me with me. That is. Number 4. Listen to nothing, to no thing. It's actually your own breath, and how beautiful that is. Listen to hummingbirds speeding in the air, listen to jazz standards, listen to Chicken Head by Project Pat and Lil Chat. Yeah? And don't forget the Greg Lou remix on SoundCloud. It's just something about flutes and hip hop. The dissonance is deeply attractive. Number 5, dream. That also means sleep as much as you can, or invite yourself to remember. The weird dreams with vicious animals, the ones with babies coming out of nowhere, the ones where you're fighting but in slow motion and can't connect to the enemy's face for the life of you, the ones with family or where you're in a bad movie. They're instructive for the future and plain old entertaining or concerning. And number 6, stay on your toes for the breaks and the fissures. As a breakthrough performance honoree, breakthrough implies just arriving, though you possess a longer history of efforts. Now, I consider breakthrough to reflect illuminations or routes to other ways of seeing or affirming thicknesses in experience. These thicknesses, which is a term that comes from therapist Foluke Taylor, her book called Unruly Therapeutic. The thicknesses come in the form of other black women with languages, literacies not wholly parallel, but surely understood. Cheryl Lee Ralph. She stopped me in my tracks at an award show one time, and she said, "You!" And I knew immediately to abide. She put her pristinely painted forehead on my perfectly pointillistic forehead, and she spoke over me right then and there. And I don't remember what she said, but I do know that she saw a babe in the woods, and skin to skin calmed the mind. A Parisian black woman was cleaning a luxury store in Paris, and she saw me trying on clothes, and typically I don't look like this, y'all. I'm pretty grungy. And I spoke. I said, "Bonjour." And she said, "Parlez-vous française?" And I quickly, "Un peu." And we giggled, right? And she kept looking at me with her eyes and smiling, and I returned it. And she just floated away with a lovely little wave, and I did that too. And as women who know not the same language, but are literate of the same spirit. And then I'd be remiss not to tell you of my comrade, the one who will stand at the edge of the limb and just straight spit it. Just like she sees them, she smells them, she tastes them, she hears them, she feels them. Chinoya says much. Chukwu holds no punches. And she ain't got to. It's all in her eyes. On tour, sometimes she sharply cut them things. And she go down. And she go, "Girl." And I knew what was what. And she championed not only me, but the legacy of Mamie and that of black women in this artistic community, in this industry. She gestured with her neck stretched out and spoke truths of the inequitableness in this industry and in this experience unflinchingly, just like Gina. And a gesture for illiteracy for all of those who speak of multiple tongues, of rage, of intellect, of intensity, and of tenderness. And now, at this culminating event honoring the work of Mamie Till through this film in this chaotic award season, in desperate search of hot sauce for ashy plates, what does she know at the end? I asked that of myself. And Toni Morrison asked that at a panel in Harvard. And she states, "It is the acquisition of knowledge. That's called a happy ending." And I say, that's called a breakthrough. Thank you all so much.